This is a very quick video. Um, so I've had the opportunities to work with different intelligence organizations at different points in time. I think that I'm actually kind of a good marketing tool for these people. But in general, I do not endorse ASD. I do not endorse the military. The only organization that I'm comfortable ever working collaboratively with is AGO. They've been around for a long time and they do human intelligence, which means that they've learned how to develop relationships with people and to cultivate those relationships. It's a complex thing. It's a lot like psychology. Um, uh, they have to develop similar skills to a counselor, and they need to be able to learn to cultivate those relationships and treat their sources well. Organizations like ASD do not get that skill set. They don't have the opportunity to cultivate it. They really just hire a lot of people lost in abstraction, I guess. But that abstraction isn't an intellectual thing. Often it's just intellectual busy work, not even intellectual. It's just the busy work of any government job. Remember, these are government organizations. They don't function too differently from the Murray Darling Basin organization or whatever. They function the same way any APS organization functions. These are people. They have jobs. They have parking spaces. They just go about what they're doing. In the same way that any corporation or organization has cultural problems, it's the same with intelligence organizations. There's this tendency for people to project this idea of omniscience and omnipotence on these organizations, and it's not true. Right? They're just people. They're a company. They're well, may as well be a company. They're an APS institution, right? What do you expect from the Department of Health or the Department of Health employee? That's the kind of same thing that you need to expect from the employee who's at ASIO or ASD and these things. The difference is that some of these organizations are better run than others. ASIO is probably run the best. ASD I don't want anything to do with. Anything the military is just a shit show, right? And to be very clear, if I ever have to do anything intelligence related again, right? And it's so frustrating how like when I first started interacting with these people, it was like kind of cool. It's like, ooh, spooky. I get to do intelligence shit. I have to get to deal with these people, but like, no, it's very frustrating because a lot of these guys are just they get self conscious about it and they end up playing in these separating themselves from what they're actually doing and like they end up like cosplaying as intelligence operatives whilst actually doing intelligence work and it's bloody hilarious. um like ASD is the worst for this. um oh no, military military intelligence is neither here or there when but like oh god, ASD is the worst for that phenomenon. But I don't even think it's illegal to tell someone that someone works for ASD. I think I know that there's acts which stop you from saying that someone works for Asia or ACES, but I think you're allowed to say that. Oh yeah, this is Brian. He works for the Australian Signals Directorate. I don't even think they have the same legislative protections and that stuff because they're not really an intelligence agency. No, they kind of are, but like. They don't have the same skills, right? They and roast over, but just know shit eaters at ASD, Asia Oasis, they're like actual intelligence organizations. It's like what people roast people in the Air Force, in the military, like Army, Navy. You're in the military, Air Force. Like what the fuck are you doing? Um, but ASD is a joke. That's what I want to say. Fuck ASD. Fuck these cunts that I've had the misfortune of working alongside, having to interact with. They're a proper pain in my ass. and a lot of them are just autistic 4chan trolls. I've had so much pain. I've had documents deleted off servers. I've had the funniest example was recently I went to my doctor's surgery because a file which I submitted to ARPA was deleted off the ARPA server. So I had to go to the doctor where I got the file originally from, and this was a certificate, regarding PTSD, and they couldn't find it on originally on the first computer, and every time they tried to print it when we found something similar, the print button wouldn't work because it was hacked. And eventually, I was able to get it printed off by the doctor. But I'm dealing with this shit every day. Um, like, it's terrible. I hate these people.